Well, here we are.
It's gorgeous. My research of the Brumder Mansion began with interviewing Julie, one of the owners.
Well, Laura, this is our parlor.
It's lovely. You know, I'm really intrigued by the Brumder Mansion, and I'm really interested in knowing more about its history.
Well, it all began with this man here, George Brumder Sr. He was a prominent citizen of Milwaukee around the 1900s, and he began his career as an 18-year-old. He brought his sister over from Germany to be married to her beloved, and he decided to stay. And so he bought himself a cute little bookstore and realized he had a real gift for publishing, for business. And so he bought up some publishing companies in Milwaukee and moved everything to the Germania building on First and Wells. And
The building's still here.
it's still there,
Yeah.
yep. And so he made a lot of money publishing German music and newspapers and books. He has a whole series of calendar books. It had everything from medicines and soap and history and stories,
Beautiful.
and it was just a really nice little calendar.
So detailed. And then when did it all happen that this house came to be?
He had 11 children. His second son, George Jr., was an accountant, CPA type person, and so he was running the newspaper business for George Sr., and he decided he would build him a nice house. And so he...
Which it is.
Which is. They started drawing up the plans around 1902, and they started building it around 1907, and it was finished in 1910. But Mr. Brumder, he unfortunately died in May 1910 before they could see the finished product, but his love was in this house.
You certainly can tell. It's amazing. So then it was with George Brumder Jr. How long did he live in this house, and what happened during that time?
Well, he loved this house.
I
He
bet.
just loved it. But World War I came along, and it wasn't too cool to have German newspapers and books, and so that business sort of circled the drain, and he wound up having to sell this house, and he wasn't very sad about that, but he looked and looked and looked for another person who would love the house as much as he did.
And who was that? So that we're talking about the next owner here.
Next owner, well, this really fine-looking gentleman in a pinstripe suit named Sam Pick came up from Chicago, and he just fell in love with the place. It's just, George could tell he'd be a great owner, and so he sold the house to him.
And how long did Sam Pick own the Brumder Mansion?
About 12, 15 years, we think. He owned it through the 20s up until the early 30s.
And what do you know about the change in the tone and the atmosphere, like what types of people were coming here during that time when Sam Pick was the owner?
George Brumder Sr. put his ballroom in the basement instead of the third floor, and that space kind of kept the house going all these years. And Sam Pick was a businessman, and he set up nightclubs, and he happened to be working for a guy named Al Capone.
Ah,
And they wanted to get their fingers in the lucrative liquor black market business up here because Milwaukee did not like prohibition much.
I can imagine.
And all this liquor was coming over the black market over Lake Michigan. So Sam and his brother Ed came up here, and they started a private speakeasy for high rollers and people who wanted to come out and have a real good time in many different ways. You know, there was a whole sports package because it was a mob run thing. It had a big pond in front and very nice architectural 2 floors. First floor, there was a white tablecloth and a whole nightclub, great meal, and he would have different acts come in,
This looks like
dancing
the-
and music.
The feather dance.
And Hattie McDaniel got her start with Sam Pick.
Do you think that there's a possibility then she also performed here at the Brumder Mansion as well?
She might have, I don't know.
that
That'd be kind of
exciting?
fun, yeah. That's a fun thought.
Interesting time. I mean, there's a lot of nostalgia and sort of, even though you're dealing with people that are like Al Capone, there's still that sort of romantic nostalgia of that time.
It was a fun place
And-
here. Lots of
and
fun things, yeah.
this place seems to really have still that feel to it.
It does, yeah.
So Sam Pick then had the Brumder Mansion, was the owner, successful with the speakeasies until about what
Until
time?
1932 when Al Capone went to jail.
Okay.
Tax evasion, and so
Yes.
he had to really scramble, and unfortunately he had to sell the Brumder.
And do you know who the next owner of the Brumder Mansion?
I think it was the McKinleys.
Okay.
I think her name was Elizabeth. They loved the Brumder. And a lot of these old houses around here were starting to turn into boarding houses. But they wanted a high-class place. And so they found a private company who needed a place for their visiting workers. And so they made this kind of a high-class boarding place just for a private company.
And is that when it became the parsonage?
We're not quite sure how many owners were between 1932 and 1948. Maybe you can find that out for us too.
Okay.
But in 1948, Our Savior's Lutheran Church was located in South Milwaukee, and they wanted to come up and be a big central city church.
So during that time, there were a lot of children here at the Brumder Mansion, different ages as well.
Yes, they had a program for everybody, every single age group. Lots of kids had lots of fun here. It was a haven from their lives. And this became the parsonage. You know, a picture of the pastor here.
Oh, 1968, okay.
And then they had activities on the front porch and the front lawn.
A lot of different lives happening
Yes.
here. Well, let's go
Okay,
take a
all
look.
right, sure. Well, Laura, this is our central staircase. It is handcrafted, hand carved.
Oh, it's impressive.
Beautiful oak, isn't it? Mr. Brumder would only have the best in his house for his son. Lots of spirit activity in this staircase.
Really?
In fact, 2 female spirits have been caught with cameras.
Really? What do they look like? And
Well,
where
one was
are-
a kind of a little old lady with a hat on, kind of see-through. And this is a regular picture. At the very bottom of the stairs, she had her hat on, looked like she's getting ready to go out shopping. And the other one was taken with a camera posted up there on the top of the railings. And it was a lady, sometimes you see ghost parts. You know, see parts of the ghost with the whole
Right.
thing. There's no head, but it was kind of like a long white dress, old-fashioned, and she had her hand, that's like, you know,
Right
like,
here.
like there, and then she was walking down the stairs.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What about any other activity anywhere else on this staircase?
They've heard men's footsteps.
Let's
Well, let's go upstairs. Yes, I have some more to show you. Well, this is the Gold Suite, Lori, and you can see some of Carol Hershey's and Bob Hershey's handiwork. I mean,
It's
they
amazing.
really, they bought the house in 1998. It was falling apart. And so they stabilized the house and they started to renovate and restore.
And they made it in this beautiful thread of.
They sure did.
So tell me about the paranormal activity that you're aware of that has gone on in this room.
Well, generally it's a very peaceful room, but it has its moments.
Such as?
There are several spirits in here. There's,
Do you know any names?
Suzanne, she's still working. She was the house manager for the Brumders, and she makes sure that everything is tip-top shape.
Okay, so she's,
And
yeah,
if
she's
she's
still
not
working.
happy, she'll find a medium and talk to her.
And can you give me an example of that?
Back in 2009, we were busy discussing ideas as to what to do with the basement, because it was a really dark, kind of black, because it was a theater. We wanted to make it a nice event center, and Tom and our innkeeper and our construction guy were talking about putting tile on the floor. She didn't like that. And so she waited until a medium and her husband came to have a nice rest at the Brumder in the Gold Suite. So she let him sleep, and then the next morning, the lady got up and she started talking to her. And so she called a meeting with our innkeeper and told them what she thought we should do. She's very positive. Make it bright and pretty, and don't cover up the wood floors.
And what did you do?
Just what she said.
Okay. Any other spirit activity in this room?
Playful young women that are in here.
So playful, and Suzanne, it seems happy. They're
Yeah,
happy
she's-
to be here.
Everybody,
Okay.
all the spirits here are just have a strong connection to the house, and they just love this place. So.
Well, it's a beautiful room.
And then we have a little girl named Sarah, who's about 5 years old, and she was looking for someone to play with. We got an EVP of her, and says, "I want to play with you."
What era do you believe she's
Probably
from?
Sandpick.
Sandpick. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Well, let's go to another
Okay.
room.
Well, Lori, this is the George Suite.
It's
It's
exquisite.
2 rooms and a bathroom, and it's original marble.
Hand painted. See, that's amazing. All this hand
Like the
painting. here.
cathedral, isn't it? You know.
So tell me about this room.
Well, it was traditionally George Brumder's, the master bedroom. And everybody and lots of the other owners also chose this as a master bedroom, and you can see why. Huh?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Tell me about any sightings, any paranormal activity
Well,
in this room.
has been rather active.
Rather active?
Yes, it has been
Okay.
rather active.
With a smile, all
Yeah,
right.
it's very nice. They're nice spirits. They don't
Nice
want to hurt
spirits.
anybody.
Okay. Can you give me any examples?
The staff has noticed. They like to tease the staff.
So they're sort of
The
playful.
staff would be vacuuming and they'd pull out the plug. I saw it happen. The plug came right out by itself. Weird, huh? Other people have seen shadows and things like that.
Has it gotten to a point where it's getting in the way of people doing
Oh
their
no,
work?
no,
Okay.
they basically know the ropes and never will be.
Okay,
They,
well,
they
I'll look
usually
into
don't
that.
bother the
Okay.
that, yeah. I've had 3 experiences myself in here.
You've had 3 personal experiences in this room.
Yes, I have. Well, I hung my belt up in the closet. I didn't really believe we had anybody else but Suzanne, so they wanted to show me that they were there too. And they took the belt, and I couldn't find it anywhere. There's a coat in my belt. Where could it have gone?
Yeah.
And then a little bit later, about a day later, there it was again.
So
And luckily,
tricksters.
that's when we decided to call in Joe Kudo and Northern Alliance, because we had to find out what was in her house, And so
course.
they took a tour, and they took they recorded everything. I told them in the parlor what happened in the house, what was going on.
And what were their findings?
They played it back, and I had a big pause in my speech about what happened in my belt, and there was a male voice on it that said, "It was us." Let's go, okay, fellas. Truce. I won't hang my stuff up in your closet anymore.
And so you no longer hang things in the closet?
No, I don't. I hang one in the other bathroom.
And you're all right with that?
I'm fine, yeah.
Okay. You mentioned other experiences too?
2010, I had just gotten back from California, and I was wondering if anybody was there because it felt awfully light and still in here. And I just happened to mention one morning, I wonder if anybody's still here, just to see what would happen. And the next morning at 4 a.m., Tom was in the bathroom, and I was awake, and I heard this loud voice coming out of the closet saying, "Yeah, I'm still here." It was a Chicago accent. And I said, "Oh goodness, there's a gangster in the closet."
Do you think that was Sam
I was
Pick?
Sam Pick, yeah.
Were you scared?
I was a little bit, when you first hear something from the paranormal, it kind of makes it real clear that, yes, indeed, they're here. But after a while, you learn to live with them and know they're not going to hurt you. So they become like family. Okay,
Let's go check out another
Okay.
room. Wow.
Lori, this is the Miriam room.
Oh, it's charming.
Yeah, Carol did a great job in here, didn't she?
Yeah. Amazing.
It's been very popular with our guests.
I can see why. What about with the spirits?
Oh, they like it too. Men, women, and children, spirits all like to come up here and play.
It's from the same era or
All
different
from all
era?
different eras.
All different eras.
Yes.
Okay.
This had been the children's wing when the Brumders were here. I'm not quite sure what it was used for exams.
Do any of these spirits have they been identified with a name? or-
Dina. Dina, she's a little girl. She has curly blonde hair. She used to stay in the blue room, which was the guest room. Suzanne was here, the house manager. Used to come see her aunt, Suzanne.
So she's related to Suzanne.
Suzanne, yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
And does she seem happy to be here?
Oh, she likes, yeah.
She likes it
she's
here.
Very she's
Just
very
like
happy
Suzanne.
here,
Okay.
yeah.
She seems to be grounded.
They're very playful in this room.
Okay.
They like to
Mischievous.
mischievous, like to tease the staff.
Okay. And the guests?
Once in a while they do.
Once in a while,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. They know the rules. They're supposed to be nice to guests.
Well, that's
The
good.
kids can always follow the rules. They have to have a little fun, I guess. Right. So what happened to one lady who was staying here? She heard something wriggling and moving her makeup bag around, and she had left her sweater on that chair. When she woke up in the morning, it was over in a ball in the corner, like some kid was sitting there watching her.
Interesting.
And they've also gotten lots of EVPs up here, lots of voices, and they've gotten flashlights to move around. Apparitions up here too. A friend was spending the night, and she woke up at like 3 in the morning. There was a man about 6 feet with a beard and a duster on, looking out the window, and he was all glowing. And so she thought it was one of our staff members, and she was getting ready to yell at him, and he realized, he turned around and looked at it and went right down, melted into the floor, into the interesting, huh?
And what era did she believe he was from?
Probably
Seemed
the
like-
Brumder. Well, let's go to the Guinness room.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Lori, I bet you can't guess what this room used to be.
I don't know.
It's a side attic.
A side attic.
Yes.
Well, I wouldn't have known that.
They used to
It's
store their old
gorgeous.
furniture and things in here. And look what Carol and Bob did with it.
It's amazing. And look at this indulgent hot tub.
Yes.
And the color is,
It's very popular with our young couples and older couples too.
I would imagine. So the big question, of course, is going to be what kind of activity has been going on here? What sort of spirits? Anything happening? Any hot spots?
Well, the main spirit in this room is a lady named Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Evelyn. She's pretty fairly tall, but very, very serious. She's recently has started to come out and share, you know, who she was, what her name was.
And is this a personal experience that you've had and other people have had as well?
Well, it started off with the EVPs.
With the EVPs?
We had paranormal class, and they came in and they asked her. She told them her name, and they thought it was
Okay.
Ellen or Helen. And then another group came in, and she got the name out, Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Evelyn. So now we got her name.
And she seems to be in this room or other areas of the Brumder Mansion.
Basically, this room. I thought
Basically
that she
this
might
room.
come out. I don't know. See, I don't really know.
Okay,
Very quiet woman.
quiet. And she's not mischievous, or is she as some of
Well,
the other
she's
spirits
very-
you talked
She likes
about?
to help. She likes to try to help.
She likes to help. Okay.
Like if people really want to know if she's here, sometimes she'll touch them. You know,
Touch them.
touch them.
Interesting. Any other spirits besides
A
Evelyn
couple of
in this
men,
room?
a couple of
men.
a couple of male spirits. Voices have been caught in here, but we don't know. Probably from another part of the house. We don't know who
And
they are.
at this point, no possible association with Evelyn, to your knowledge.
I
the
don't know.
male
It's
spirits.
a theory.
Great. It's really been interesting.
Our staff member first saw her 2010, right after Halloween. He came in here and he saw like a white mist over the bed.
Over the bed,
Over the bed.
hovering.
Yes, hovering.
Okay, that was the first
The first time that we knew something was in here. And
Okay,
then,
as a staff member. And then you've had a personal experience also.
sometimes she'll communicate through dreams.
Through dreams. A lot going on here, a lot of
Yeah,
activity.
a lot of activity, yeah.
Yes. And it's a gorgeous place. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Julie, for showing me around. We got our work cut out for us.
Yes.